Hey guys, I wanted to go over a few things with Pear Deck. So I know that the district had the PD online, which was really awesome. But I just wanted to show you how you can easily take maybe a slideshow that you already have created for your class and just incorporate some Pear Deck things into it. That way you're not starting from scratch. Maybe it'll be a good starting point for a few of you if you don't want to feel overwhelmed with just creating a whole new Pear Deck. You can easily put Pear Deck things into it and make any slideshow you already have interactive. So I just want to go over some of these things with you. First off, you need to make sure that Pear Deck shows here in your little toolbar on Google Slides. So I've already I just opened up the PD I did on the 4th. And I already have Pear Deck installed. If you don't, it probably says Pear Deck and then has an install button right next to it. If it doesn't, you can go to the Chrome web store and download Pear Deck as an extension. And if you're having issues with that, just let me know and I'll be happy to help you. So I'm going to click Pear Deck so that I get my little toolbar over here. So if I were starting from scratch, kind of like the district showed us, this is where I would import any of these templates. I could maybe look into the beginning of the lesson and insert any of these things. But I want to show you how just to make the slides you already have like easily interactive. So on the second slide here, I had a quote: learning is more effective when it is active rather than a passive process. Let's say I want to build in a response to that, and I want students to respond in real time. All I have to do right here is click this text button, or I can choose whichever kind of question I want. But for this one, let's say I want them to write a 1 to 2 sentence response on if they agree or disagree and why. I just click the text button on the Ask Students a Question. You don't need to do anything with this. You can't click on them anyway. It's just letting you know how they work. And I click Update Slide. And as you can see, it says Adding Interactive Question. Once you have this little bar right here and it says Students Write Your Response, that's how you know that if you access this lesson through Pear Deck, the students will have that little box on the right hand side where they can type their response, and then through the teacher dashboard you can see their responses in real time. And if you see, it says do not remove this bar, don't change this link. If you delete that, it takes away the interactive Pear Deck piece. So that's one way I can add Pear Deck. So I can do any sort of question that I want to do in there. Let's say down here to some of these, I could insert a website to any of these websites as long as the shared permissions are public, anyone on the web. I could do a draw, anything like that. If I want to add audio to any slide, let's say I want to talk my students through this, I could click audio and voice the instructions online. I'm not going to do that right now, but I could click record and then add the audio to the slide. And that would mean when they were in it through Pear Deck, that when they came to the slide, they would hear your voice walking them through the steps. That can be really helpful too. And then there are just basically what I'm trying to say is that you can turn any slide into a Pear Deck interactive slide. And if I wanted to, if I'm doing this and I'm like, oh, I need to check in with them, I could click draggable and I could click a dot. I could update the slide. And I could insert a text box here. You would probably want to make that bigger and bolder. Add one to the other side. And then when your students are in it through Pear Deck, at this point, this is, a formative assessment where you can see, okay, they've got this part of the lesson, or they need extra help. Students would be able to drag their icon over. If you've watched the district presentation, this will make sense. If you have not watched it, this might not make as much sense to you. Anywhere in here, I can just add a new slide. How are you doing so far for another formative assessment? And I can add a multiple choice question. I clicked choice over here. And then I can put my options in here. Doing great, I get it. I think I understand. And nope, not at all. Update your slide. You will not see those choices on your screen, but when the students are in through Pear Deck, they will have the option to select that multiple choice, and you can see what they're selecting and who put what answer in real time when you're on the teacher dashboard. So play around with this. You can also add at any time, go to template library. Let's say you realize you're at the very end of your lesson and you're like, oh, shoot, I need to do an exit ticket. Go to the templates, find, whatever exit ticket. If you click it, it will pop up next in line on your Google Slideshow. Okay, so the last important thing I need to remind you is if you want this to be interactive, which is the whole point of Pear Deck, you have to come in and put start lesson. Choose whether it's student paced or instructor paced. And then it'll give you your join code at the beginning. I just happen to be on the last slide, so it is not giving me that code right now. Code's right up here. Okay, so big part, do not forget to start it through Pear Deck. And again, students go to joinpd.com and enter that code. If you just share your screen, they can't click on it. If you just share the slideshow, it will not be interactive. And then they'll be typing all over your slideshow. So make sure they join through Pear Deck. Any other questions on Pear Deck, please let me know.